This is the all-new Google TV streamer. Now this streamer does support 4K, but it all started off with a device called the Google Chromecast. The first Google Chromecast was released in 2013, and then a second generation came out in 2015. Now Google also tried the Chromecast audio, which didn't really go over well because you had no video, but they got smart. In 2016, they came out with the Chromecast Ultra that introduced 4K. And then they made a third generation in 2022. Now the most recent one that most people probably have is this one right here. This had that nice chic look to it, but it didn't have any inputs. You could use it on your Google account and it will run all your applications such as Google TV. So the question is, do you need this new streamer? On this video, we're going to take a look at it and see some of the other features that you might want on the newer streamer and see if it's the right one for you. But first thing first, let's go ahead and get this open so we can take a look at this newer design. All right, so let's go and get everything out of here. It looks like it has a little cover over it. And one thing that you can immediately notice is the size difference. And one of the main reasons Google want to give you a device that you can expand. You have USB-C, now you have an Ethernet connection, and you still have the 4K HDMI output. They also made the remote control much larger. Now most of the design is about the same, but at the bottom of it, you notice you have a dedicated volume control right here instead on the side, which confused a lot of people. But the functionality overall is the same. And the final pieces in here, it comes with a USB-C cable, some batteries, and an instruction book. One great thing about these devices, if you have a non-smart TV, this is going to give you an interface so you can get all the advantages of any of the newer TVs. In most cases, this is going to be much faster. By having an external device, you'll be able to control the HDR, the SDR. When you have built-in Google TV and you're watching some content and it's too dark, for example, if it moves to Dolby Vision, you can't turn it off. Well, by having an external source, you will have full control. Now, if you're new to Google, don't worry about it. I'm going to walk you through everything you need to know to get this all set up and running. And then we'll explore some of the advanced features that you can do with it. For this demonstration, we're going to be using this Fire TV from TCL. And keep in mind, it doesn't come with HDMI cables, but you can choose any of them on the back of it. And this was backwards compatible with 1080p as well as 4K televisions. Just going to plug it in right there. And then we're going to plug the power cable in right there and go ahead and plug it into the wall. The first thing you need to do is pair the remote control, and you're going to press the home and back button together and just keep pressing it. And you see that number count right there is letting you know that it is starting to pair to the TV. Now you see there is multiple languages in here, so you should be able to find what you're looking for. But of course, we're going to switch to English for my particular demo. You can see there's some other languages in here. So they did set this up to be pretty universal overall. And again, I'm going to choose United States. Now, this is what I normally do. I use the Google Home application, scan the barcode, and then I would do everything through the Google Home app. Now you just need to wait to it to connect to your Wi-Fi and we can finish up here. Now, in some cases you may get a update because I just purchased this and it's been in the box. So just go ahead and do that before you start the whole process of setting it up. That way, you know, everything's in there is going to be fresh and you won't have anything that might be new that you might have to go reset up later. All right, so this is important. You're going to need to add a Gmail account. And if you don't have one, you can go down here and create one, but I recommend you do it on your computer or phone. That way you have all your credentials saved on that particular device and you can come back and enter them here on the television. Now, I'm no lawyer, but there's going to be some terms and conditions. Make sure you read through them if you're not. There will be some Google services like location, help Google TV to improve its service. Now, using the voice command, you can search across all your apps. I'll usually allow that. That way, when I do voice commands, that is going to look through all the apps. And you do have personal results where it will use your account to customize your experience. Now, I do have the Google app on my phone. So it's asking me, do I want to add it? And then you can just choose which location that you're going to install it with, is kitchen, office, or you can customize one at the bottom. If you have any of these applications, you can go through here and check them off. And what it's going to do, it's going to install all these apps for you right off the bat so you don't have to go search for them later on. And if you want to use the remote control to control your volume, you can see if your TV is compatible by going through these settings. I'll go and press on setup. I'll hit TV. This is a TCL television, so I'm going to go ahead and select that right there. And then it's going to play some music. The volume did work right here, so I'm going to hit yes. And then we're going to try the power button. And just so you know, after I turn the TV off, turn it back on, you just want to complete this, that it did work for you. And now it's going to start download those applications so we can start using the device. Once that's done, you can set up photos, You can add multiple users, and there's some kid features in there if you're putting it in their bedroom or something like that. So here's the operating system. You're probably used to this because most of the TVs have it. I would say that it's pretty snappy. If you go over here to the top, we do have the Google TV Free Play, and these are just streaming channels that you can watch anytime you need some content to watch. Of course, you have the full app store. You can download just about anything that you need. And if you go down here at the bottom, there's tons of different applications. So feel free to go through here and download what you need to get some more experience out of the Google TV. A couple things here is HDMI CEC allows the Google device to control the television. And these are some important settings down here. And one is called match content frame rate. So if you're watching content, it will adjust itself to match up your TV to get the best picture quality. And this is the same as resolution. I recommend just leave it on automatic. But if you really want to override it, you can go in here and change to these different sources. And one thing I want to point out here is that if you're not in the United States, it does support 50 Hertz, which most people use in the UK. And there's some advanced display settings. I recommend pretty much just leave all these to automatic unless you do have a very specific thing that you want to do. That way you're going to get the best experience. And there's audio features like automatic volume leveler. You can enhance the dialogue. You can also change your output to Dolby Digital Plus, Dolby Digital, or just PCM stereo. Now, as far as profiles, if you have other people who want to get their own experience, you just hit add account and you want to go ahead and add their profile. So whenever they go to the television, they can select their profile and have all the content that they want. It also has ambient screensavers. It'll show the screen right here so you can get some loop content, and you can press down here on the remote control and you can add your own photos from your Google Cloud. You have art gallery and you have custom AI art, which is Google's version of some pictures. Now this one does use Android TV version 14. So if you look at a lot of TVs today, they use version 11 or 12. So you're going to get the newest and greatest operating system by using this Google TV streamer. And it does have 26 gigabytes of internal memory, and you can cast from your phones. And that's going to be great if you want to stream YouTube or something like that from your phone. This device will handle it. Now, last thing down here under remote and accessories, you can see that this remote will show you the battery life. But if you want to add something like headphones, all you need to do is hit pair with remote. It's going to search, make sure it's in pair mode, and we can go ahead and connect some devices like the Sony UltraWares. And once they're connected, you can use them anytime that you like. One of the great things that you can do with the Google TV is you can expand it. So let's say, for example, you have home movies, wink, wink, on a hard drive, and you want to play them through the Google TV. I'm going to walk you through the steps how you could play them directly off of this type of disc. So as we all know, the HDMI cable will go over to the television, but what we want to do is have a few adapters so we can make this work. And for this demonstration, I'm going to use this O-ray adapter. And the great thing about this one is that you have a USB-C output, and over here you have a USB-C input, and this allows you to hook up different USB devices. The first thing I'm going to do is unplug the power supply from the Google Home device. I'm then going to take the power cord that came with the Google TV streamer, plug it to the USB there, and you can see that it's starting to light up. And then this end is going to go back into the Google TV. And this will give it proper power so you can still use it. This is an enclosure with a hard drive in it. I can then plug this into the USB-C like that. Then I'm going to plug the other end into the adapter. And this is the setup, pretty simple. This will go over to your television. We have the Google TV streamer getting powered by the power cord. And then we have the hard drive going over here. The last part of this is that you're going to need a player so you can access these files. Now we have an external device connected to the Google TV. I'm going to recommend you go download VLC for Android. And I've already set this up, but first thing you need to do is grant some permissions. And this is basically giving it access to all the files that are on the Google TV. And what you would do is just go down here to the bottom and check allow and then hit back. Once we have that, we can then hit on all videos and then go to media library preferences. Now under here, you're going to see a couple things. First of all, you're going to see the internal storage. I do have this hard drive hooked up to it, and you'll see different networks that are connected to the Wi-Fi. And keep in mind, you probably have passwords on these, so you will need those passwords if you want to log into it and stream different content. After I fixed the file permissions and I scanned for videos, you can see that I can play videos right off of the hard drive. And this is a cool option, especially if you have movies or stuff like that. Not saying that it's going to run as smooth as possible, but this is a possibility, and it's all based off of what kind of hard drive you use and things like that. So that's another feature that you can use with the Google TV streamer. And one of the great things about the streamer is that it does support Dolby Vision, HDR10, HDR10 Plus that Samsung uses, and HLG picture profile, plus some various audio sources. And if you wonder about casting, it will support all these applications such as YouTube, YouTube TV, Netflix, as well as Max, Disney Plus, ESPN, and Spotify. Another cool feature is that this Google streamer has a built-in remote finder. You just press and hold this until the remote control starts to beep. So that's a few things you can do with the Google TV streamer. And one of the reasons, again, that you might want to have something like this, because it's going to be faster than most televisions. It supports the newest operating system. In addition to that, it's going to allow you to hook up other devices to it to expand it out. If you're interested in learning more about this Google TV streamer, I'll leave all the links in the description below. I'm Tech Steve. Thanks all for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.